Credit cards are basically the only way I pay for things anymore. I do try to use NFC payments when I can, but more often than not, I end up having to revert back to the old-fashioned plastic card. So you can understand that when I caught a McDonald's employee trying to write down my credit card number, I immediately wanted to find a more secure solution. This resulted in me going at my credit cards with sandpaper, then spray painting them, and it worked okay. Until, of course, I found out the hard way that businesses aren't super eager to accept forms of payment that look like they've been through a wood chipper. So, a bit annoyed that the manager at Starbucks couldn't appreciate my ingenuity, I went ahead and called my bank and credit lenders, who were all kind enough to send cards immediately. And I was happy to swipe my generic cards for a little while. And then I began to miss my customized credit cards. Really, the matte black finish I'd put on them looked great. So I went at my new cards with spray paint again, and now I'm here to show you how you can do the same thing. Now, the process itself is actually quite simple. All you'll need is some gaffer tape or masking tape. What we're looking for is just a paper tape that's easy to cut through. You'll need something to cut the tape with, double-sided tape, some newspaper or a surface that you feel comfortable painting on top of, and of course paint. I picked up this matte black car spray paint. Presumably any color will work, though I did have a tough time getting white to work with my cards, so keep that in mind. You just want to grab your cards, put some gaffer tape over the chip reader if you have one, cut around the chip, make sure you have the whole thing covered up, flip the card over, cover up the back with the same tape, be careful to make sure you have the barcode completely covered up, and watch the edges of the card. You'll probably want to decide beforehand whether you want to paint these edges, so just leave them either exposed or unexposed, depending on what you decide to do with them. Then go ahead, put some double-sided tape on the back of your card, stick it to the newspaper, and you can spray paint away. If you don't know, the general rule with spray painting is to be sparing and patient when you're doing the paint job. This kind of paint clogs up and looks gross easily, so it would be better to have to paint your cards twice than to really cake on the paint and have to scrape off the paint or get a new card and start all over. Once you're done, of course, just put your card somewhere warm to dry. For me, that's the dash of my car. And once again, you'll want to be patient here. Wait several hours, I would say at least 6. I have also messed up a card by putting it in my wallet too soon and rubbing the paint off that way. If you can swing being without your cards overnight, that would be even better. But the last step, of course, will be to go ahead, take your cards back inside, remove the tape, and feel like a boss next time the waiter gives you the ticket.